This is my latest Temu art haul, and it's not the biggest one, but it is important to me. I bought something that really excites me. So let's see. And this year I'm trying to be more conscious of what I'm buying. On Temu, of course, you cannot buy artist grade art supplies, but it's great if you need something for organization or some cheaper brushes, stuff like that. This is the first thing that I'm really happy about, and of course all the paints that you see here, and Tiger Balm inhaler. That was not included. What was included is this plastic, what I think is acrylic. It is originally a lipstick holder, but I did see other artists use it for their paints and for watercolors, for example. It fits perfectly. This is Daniel Smith I have here. I have here White Nights. It's a smaller tube. I have here Rosa and Pinax, Sennelier 10 milliliter tubes. So everything fits perfectly, and I right away ordered a second one even because I do have more paints than this. I don't know if I should say unfortunately, but for me it's fortunately. I am very privileged to have all these beautiful paints. And I do like them from the tube actually much more than in pens. I mean, in pens they are convenient to use, of course, but some paints do not re-wet so well. So can definitely recommend this. I mean, let's see how it holds, but I don't see anything that can break here, so this is definitely a good purchase. I think it was around €5. Next item I was really excited about. It's sort of a sketchbook slash art book, and it has this beautiful watercolor painting on the cover, and on the pages there's also art on every page. And I must say, I am in love with this art. I mean, it is subtle. Sometimes it takes more of the page, and other times it's just this small piece. And it does look like this would be perfect for sketching, for just some daily doodles, or even for taking notes. I mean, this art is beautiful, and the print is beautiful. I mean, look at this. But unfortunately, I had to even initiate a return for this, because right away when I open it, I see this kind of stitching. I mean, it's not in the middle, it's on the side. And then when you open the next page, yeah, it's like this. It's basically unusable. I did not have to return this item. Sometimes on Temu you don't need to return and they still give you money back. I mean, this is another example. This is not just one example. If it was just one, it was okay. I mean, it goes all the way, and I cannot find it right now, but there were 2 or 3 times where the stitching, 2 or 3 signatures where the stitching was done badly like that. I mean, just how beautiful is this art? I mean, I am in love with it, and I want a sketchbook like this, but I won't be ordering it again because, yeah, then if I receive another notebook with the same stitching, I mean, what can I do with it? And I must say, pages are thinner than I expected, and they are transparent. You can see the artwork on the next page, so it's not very useful for sketching. I was hoping the pages would be thicker so I could do some watercolor, like for example in Art Creations sketchbooks, but unfortunately no, I can just admire these beautiful prints, but yeah, unfortunately it's unusable for anything. Well, I say anything, it would be perfect for collaging. I can still cut this out and use it as a collage. So I don't think this is a complete waste. I will find a use for it. I just stopped and like, this is so beautiful. I mean, I wish I could just, I don't know. You can still, for example, some pages are good and you can still doodle, you can still do something. And you see on the next page, it is visible, unfortunately, the print from the previous page. But it's not completely unusable, and I will definitely do something with it and keep it for my collages. But cannot recommend ordering this one, unfortunately. Had a lot of hope for this, but yeah, unfortunately, no. It was also around €5, so not that expensive for quite a thick sketchbook. Next, I decided to try these charcoal pencils, and I do know this brand. I think I have acrylic paint from this brand, and that paint is good. So I decided to give this a chance. I do have several tinted charcoal pencils from their brand, and I do really love them. This is how I'm using them, for example, most often. I use them to make these kind of lines. And we do know that charcoal can be basically smudged, but I discovered a trick that allows me to use it with watercolor and not get it smudged. Basically, you need to do it wet on wet. If you do it wet on wet, when it dries, the line is completely dry and you cannot smudge it. So that's just perfect for the charcoal pencils. And I did notice that pastel pencils do not behave the same way. And I do have quite some pastel pencils, but I decided to give a try to these ones. They were, again, something around €5. Everything is €5. And they came unsharpened. I did sharpen a couple of them just to try them out. This is a 12 pack and there was 24. I decided to start with 12. Sometimes when you have too many choices, you end up not really even using the material much and not getting to know it very well. And because I have, I think, 4 or 5 of the Derwent pencils, I know them quite well. So I decided to start with a smaller set. So the pencils themselves look like this. They all have names. They are unsharpened and they are closed on the other side. And let's sharpen together some more pencils. And this is a good time to show the sharpener I also got on Temu. And I must say this is the best sharpener I had in my life. It was not cheap. I do think it was around €10, but for Temu it's not cheap. But if you look at professional sharpeners, for example from Caran d'Ache, this is times and times cheaper, and I do really like this one. I don't think I need a better one. You can sharpen to a very fine point. For example, here I sharpened it quite fine. Again, to quite a fine point. Which one do we want? Let's do this one. This one is called Violet Light. Really pretty color. And let's do this one. Flesh tint. So as you can see, the sharpening is perfect. And it's quick. I mean, definitely recommend this one. Let me know if you want me to review all these pencils and how they behave wet and wet. But for now, I will test the ones I have sharpened in my Sakura sketchbook. So this one is vermilion red tone. It is gorgeous. You can see that when it's dry, you can smudge it. Now olive. Of course, the white on black, it will goes like butter. It is so soft. I cannot even tell you how good it feels to paint with this pencil. And for example, I can compare it to another white charcoal pencil that I have from Seikai. Got this one in Thailand. I wrote black, but it's actually white. This one is a bit, I would say, less soft. And I can see that it's a different white. This one is definitely a warmer white. And this one is more just, Chinese white. You can already see it. But this is cool to see. I actually like warmer colors. So it is great to see that I do not just have 2 duplicates and they are actually different. That's definitely a bonus. This one is violet. I would say that this one feels less soft than the white one, but still quite soft. Very beautiful color as well. And the last one that I sharpened now is flesh tint. and it is different from the white one. I mean, the difference is subtle, but it's there. Next, some small items, and the first ones are special protectors for the brushes. I mean, you must have seen it sometimes in the shops. They use bigger things like this for fruit. They package fruit like this. But for me, it will be for the brushes. For example, we take this kind of brush. We pull it like this. And then we can travel with our brushes and don't worry too much that they will get damaged. I mean, they would still get damaged. It's not very thick. I can already see this one is a bit faulty, but it's not a deal breaker for me. The rest I think are fine. And I do paint with watercolor with more sensitive, so to say, gentle brushes. And for them, I like if there is some sort of cap, or for example, I use a travel brush like this, also from Temu, by the way. For travel purposes, for quick sketches, this is perfect. And the tip is already bent a little, but the hot water will fix it because this is a synthetic brush. But for example, for acrylic brushes, I do like to paint with acrylic, and sometimes I do take my small acrylics with me on the road, and the brushes, of course. And those brushes are less precious than watercolor brushes, so protection like this for smaller ones is just perfect. And again, this is a very affordable purchase, and I hope it will protect my brushes. So next thing is these stickers. This Sakura journal is completely bare, and I do want to start decorating with stickers here and there. So I think these ones originally are meant for packaging, but I did like the artworks so much, the print, that I decided to get some for just my journals. Of course, they are repeating, but I have many journals to go, so it will be good. They stick quite well, so cannot say anything bad about it. Cute little purchase, definitely can recommend. And my idea to get some stickers for the journals did not stop at these ones. I got bigger ones as well, also in the same kind of theme. And these ones are, I think, they are not even repeating, they are all different. They are really pretty. I mean, I really like abstract, and abstract is my everything, and I do like that they have not just some sakura and mountains, but also more abstract. Yeah, another guilty pleasure for me. Let's see how good they stick actually. Yeah, so far so good. Don't know how good it will hold because of the edges, but I guess time will tell. And yes, third set of stickers. This time is koi fishes. My husband really likes koi fish. I myself also like them. And I would definitely enjoy having some of them on my sketchbooks. I mean, look at this. How cute is this? It's definitely a beautiful set. And let's see, I think I want this one on my sketchbook. Yeah, so far it's good. Let's do one on the front as well. But yes, which one? Which one? So many. Maybe this one. Next purchase are these cute little bowls. They are actually ceramic, they are not plastic. And when I saw them, I thought like, yes, they would be perfect for watercolors. And I already have one filled. And I must say the downside is that when they just sit on your desk or on your palette, they are moving. So for example, picking up paint with a brush is not the most convenient, but I have something else that I bought that would be perfect for them. And it is a magnetic tape actually. You can cut it into pieces. It sticks to the bottom of your watercolor pen, and then you can basically connect it to any metal surface. Because I already used a bit of this tape with my full pens, and it did work, but with this miniature ones, let's see. So here we unstick this piece of paper. Here is the glue. See if this is small enough for this pen. I think it is a bit big, actually, a bit wide, so I need to cut it more. Okay, well, this seems to be fitting perfectly. Yeah, and now when we're picking up something, the paint, like if I want to pick up the paint, it is not perfect, but if I don't go in too hard, I can pick up the paint without moving this pen. So this I call a success. And yeah, they are so cute, which actually will lead me to the purchase that I am most excited about, because this is something that I wanted to do for a while. But first, a quick note about this failure. So why do I call this failure? I mean, this is a tape. It's supposed to be artist tape, so masking tape for your art, and it's supposed to be low-tack, so you can easily remove it from the paper, but it is so low-tack that even this inside carton part doesn't stick. And I mean, I don't care about it so much, but it turned out that this tack is so low that it doesn't really stick to the paper. You put it on paper and then it just peels off. So for watercolor or for acrylic, it makes it completely useless, because basically everything goes under the area where you wanted to put the tape. And let me show this to you. I mean, for watercolor paper, for 100% cotton paper, you can use almost any tape. It will not damage the good watercolor paper, the good cotton paper. But for example, for something like art creations, and I do sometimes do watercolors in art creations. This is a Sakura. So it's not the same as, not completely the same. It's a different brand to Art Creations, but the paper quality is essentially the same. But this is my finished sketchbook of Art Creations. And let's see, let's open some page. Here I just tested some of the colors. It's watercolor and it doesn't sink on the next page. See, it holds quite well. But let's try to put on some of this tape. For example, it does go on, like it does stick, but I mean, this is me telling you it doesn't stick and then it sticks. I mean, it comes off really easy, you see, but my experience, most of the times it would just not stay. So sometimes it does stay. Now I see that I cannot prove my point, but just trust me. I was using, especially on the watercolor paper, on cotton paper, it was completely useless. It would, any sort of texture, if the paper has, yeah, this doesn't stick. And in Temu's defense, for example, this masking tape, it has much more tack. It sticks much better, and this I always use on cotton paper, and it doesn't rip it. Almost none of the tapes do rip the cotton paper, but in a sketchbook like this I would have to be really careful taking it off and maybe use some heating, otherwise it will tear it. Yeah, so sorry I couldn't prove my point, but just believe me. I don't know how you can identify this one. This is what it says on the inside, and it was called artist's tape. Now let me show you the thing that I was most excited about. This thing is from IKEA, so don't mind it, but just for demonstration purposes it's here. But it's a glass muller, and a glass that's actually meant for leather making. That's how they call it on Temu. And I am really excited to try and make my own watercolors. I mean, I by now have quite an extensive collection, and I like trying new brands. And to me, the ultimate watercolor is the one that you can make yourself. I did already buy some pigments when I was on a trip in Greece. I did buy all the other ingredients needed, but this muller I could find only bigger ones, relatively pricey, 30 euro on Amazon. But then on Temu, I found this for only 8 euro. I think this glass was about 5 euro and this is about 8. So I think this is a perfect low entry point to see even if I like it. Maybe I will try it and get bored with it. You never know. And then I was walking around in IKEA and saw these glass coasters for glasses, but the surface seems to be flat, and this is what I need for the milling. But let's see what will work best. This was €1, so I decided to give it a chance. Together with a sketchbook that was a fail, I also ordered some papers, and I expected them to be a bit bigger, didn't pay enough attention to the dimensions. That's always a mistake with Temu. Things sometimes seem to be bigger than you think. And you can see how gorgeous these paintings are. I really do like them. I was hoping to sort of create a mini sketchbook out of these, but unfortunately on the other side they are just blank paper. So I shall see what I will do with them, how will I use them. This set even has some stickers. They are just square stickers. So definitely a beautiful set and something for me to think about what to make of it. Maybe I will make just a sort of a mini art book, just stick them together like this and then fold them and have it as an art book. And the last, but not the least, are these brushes. And this set was, I think, maybe €2 or €3, maybe 4, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 brushes. And each of them even has a cap. This one I bought separately. It was more on the expensive side because I want to see how it will behave. I know they are meant for calligraphy, these kind of brushes, but I want to give it a try with watercolor, with diluted acrylics, and I want to see what kind of marks can I make with them. Especially I like that they have longer handles, so the marks themselves can be quite loose. And if you've never bought brushes before, like professional or semi-professional, they always come very stiff. The first time I got it, I thought, is it some fault with the brush or something? But what you need to do is that you need to put it under warm water, under running warm water or in a glass, and then just gently start dissolving the glue, pushing inside the brush gently like this, and the glue will be dissolving relatively quickly, and then your brush stays good. I will probably use them in some of my future videos. This one, of course, was also glued, so I already opened it up. It's quite springy, which I do like. I don't think this is real wood because of the price. I think this one was €3 or €4, and this whole set was €4, so I don't expect much quality out of these brushes, but as, again, an entry point, I think I will have quite some use of it, especially because I also want to try it with acrylics as well. So I don't want them to be like of natural fibers or anything like that. So that was my most recent Temu art haul. Please subscribe if you want to see more reviews of art supplies and art hauls, and I'll see you in the next video.